Good Monday. I'm Chris Fote. This is Monday Morning Jolt. Let's get started. Sharona.
Good morning. Today with us is LC Yarnell. He actually runs and owns this place called Higher Grounds downtown, where the most creative people of Fort Wayne hang out on a daily basis.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And he also owns the Anthony Wayne Vending service, right?
That's correct.
Tell us a little bit about yourself besides you being a soccer star.
Well, we might start there. I'm not a soccer star. I'm from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Went to Homestead High School. Went to Wittenberg University in Springfield, Ohio for undergrad. And then Ohio State for my MBA, which I finished almost 2 years ago now. So, work for Anthony Wayne Vending, the company the family owns, and we own the coffee shop as well, which has become my responsibility.
Mm-hmm. And this was not a choice, actually, right? It was given to you by your dad.
That's correct.
Let's go.
I came back a month before we made a relatively large acquisition of another vending company in town. Spent my time dealing with that, and then once that was done, somehow the coffee shop became a part of my responsibilities.
And I'm happy now.
Oh, it's great. It's great. It's a lot of fun. It's completely different, obviously, than vending. I mean, that's an obvious thing.
So this is Monday Morning Jolt. So we're going to talk about Mondays. We want to know if you have a ritual of how you kickstart your work week, which, assuming that it would start on a Monday.
It does start on Monday, and this sounds like a shameless plug, but I generally stop here at the coffee shop. We have in the office we have a divide about coffee. Some people like it really light and some people like it really dark. And so we've formed teams and we're about to get jerseys. It's kind of crazy, but to get exactly the cup of coffee that I want, I generally have to come here because neither team really fits my fancy perfectly. So I start Monday morning here. Again, sounds like a shameless plug, but that's actually true.
Now, are you a dark or light coffee?
I am dark. I am dark, and I like French pressed coffee a little better than dripped coffee. You don't have to work here for very long to become a bit of a coffee snob, which can be difficult to deal with, but yes, darker coffee, French pressed.
Okay.
And I even saw the mayor stop by here this morning just to get his cup of coffee.
Yeah, obviously we're close to downtown, and now that Citizen Square is a block away from us, we're really enjoying some business from the city employees and the county employees, but also the mayor. So.
And also people who have to park on the street to go visit Citizens Square.
Exactly, exactly.
So you start here, you get your Jolt.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's see how many plugs we can get in. Anything else that you do to really get yourself going for your week? Do you plan? Do you write a list?
I have an affinity for whiteboards. And so I get to the office before anybody else gets there and kind of clean up the whiteboard and then add the list of things for the week. So I generally do that relatively quickly and then try to accomplish something before anybody shows up. But I would say that the only part that's kind of a ritual, as it were, is get the whiteboard ready for the week. Which is just a long list of things that need to be accomplished.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, as a business owner, what kind of advice can you give the other business? I know one thing that I noticed here, you have a really good crew. You have a really good manager, right? Besides that, what kind of advice can you give the other businesses? Especially if they're starting up just like you did. Come out of college, you come up with the MBA, right? Boom, you are in the business.
So you've stolen number one, which would obviously be good employees. That's the easiest answer that everyone likes to give. I would say the next piece of advice I would give would be just that you are not normal. And what you think is a good idea may or may not be accepted as a good idea by the rest of the world. To the flip side, things that you think are silly or trivial may actually be very important to the rest of the world. A good example is, should we sell X product here in the show? I think there are all kinds of things that would be great that no one seems to want to buy. Things that I'm kind of convinced are, well, run-of-the-mill, that's not a big deal, well, we don't need to carry that, seem to sell really well. It is not, your opinion doesn't matter. It does, but you have to understand the customer. Well, that's just it. You have to understand the customer. Yeah, and we kind of have an idea of who walks through the door, and so now we try to think about things that they may want to buy, not necessarily anything I would want to or not want to. But there's there's just standards and all of those things that you may want to hold you and your business to, but basically
it all changes.
Well, yes, and it is not based on my preferences. We don't sell bagels because I like bagels. We sell bagels because other people want bagels. So yeah, that's the one that's kind of come up, especially here in a retail outlet, but even at the vending company, over and over. It's just that things that I think are a good idea may or may not be a good idea based on the customer we're actually trying to attract.
Great. Do you have an adage or a business philosophy or something that's capsulized the way you do business and the way you live your life?
No. I mean, that's we had the discussion before we started. I'm kind of young. I don't know if I want to pretend to know enough about the world to put it all together in a sentence.
Well, everything you ever learned in kindergarten. Isn't there that book that...
It's true. There's a book
so
and a
you're
poster
already
in the
past kindergarten.
Well...
But he has a great family backing him up too, so...
well, thank you. I don't know. I think that as I've dealt with multiple types of business all at the same time, and especially being a small business owner, dealing with there is no one to do HR, and there is no one. I studied finance. I'm pretty good at numbers and things. Everything else, there's no one else to do those other things. So even though it's not my forte or the thing I studied, I have to do it. So for me, it's just become balancing how much time I'm spending at work on all of those different things, and how much time I'm at home kind of decompressing, as it were. So what I've bumped into so far, I guess, is that I can't work all the time. I know some people can. I'm not that guy. I can't work all the time, and
it's one of those things that it kind of goes back to what you said about hiring good employees. If you can't work all the time and you don't want to work all the time, you better find the best people that can work and make decisions in your absence.
Oh yes.
So it's really to me it sounds like you'd say, hire the best people, get out of their way.
Oh yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So,
and we've had a lot of good luck here over the last 6 to 9 months, better than when I first took over, as it were. And it stems a lot from just having good people back over there, and then not only allowing them to do a good job, and I don't mean to sound like the teacher, but also expecting them to do a good job, because they are much better than sometimes they even give themselves credit for. So
bring out the best and more than they even thought they could do.
Exactly, and then that makes my life much simpler.
So superpowers. We always ask this question. So you're prepared. If you could choose one superpower, what would that superpower be?
Man, I think it would have to be fly.
Very nice, very nice.
Just for the ease of transportation. You mentioned our little parking problem here. If I could just fly in, that'd be great. I guess maybe ancillary to that would be just like being able to go from point A to point B with nothing in the middle.
Right.
Kind of the same idea. I don't really need to fly around the top of the building. It's not really a thrill thing.
Just to get from
from point A to point B with like no time between it.
Okay.
That could be it. No, that one's better. I want that one. I want that one. The what, a teleport or whatever that is. I want that one.
Okay, you got that one.
Okay, thanks.
What is something that nobody knows about you? I mean, I always see you as this collective guy, but you know, what is something that people might say like, wow, I didn't know that about him?
Well, there's the kind of cheap answer is there's only a subset of individuals that know that I play the trumpet and teach high school marching. Yeah, so obviously not my career. I'm not the teacher. I just come in and help teach marching and playing.
That's great.
That's great.
Yes, but that's not. Some people know that because it's I work with those people. But that's one.
No, they're dark, deep secrets that you're holding up
You
back.
might not want to share.
If they're deep, dark secrets.
Exactly. I mean, yeah. Jeez. No, so that's.
His other identity.
Yeah, exactly.
He was on the team. What was that? The SEAL 6.
Yes, exactly.
So
I fit that in between
But you'd
trips
have
to
to
the
kill
coffee
us
shop.
if you told us.
Right.
So I know you are a super busy person, right?
Yes.
But
Try to.
how do people get hold of you? Do they stop by the coffee shop, or how do people get hold of you in business? You don't even have to be here.
I'm actually not here a whole lot at all. So email or phone call. I mean, this thing right here is the world's
Best communication device.
exactly.
Yeah.
Because I run around a lot and it's always in my pocket.
And he's of that age.
Yeah.
Exactly.
This is the
Exactly.
only way to communicate.
Yeah.
Do you
Yes.
text a lot?
I do.
Not while you're driving now.
Oh no, no ma'am, no ma'am, no ma'am. But phone call, email, text message, all of those things to that thing. Calling the office probably won't help you much.
Yes.
So how would they get that? If they needed to talk to you, wanted to talk to you, wanted to talk about a collaboration or a partnership or some sort of business opportunity?
I would say email would be the best one. It's LC Yarnell, YARNELLE at AnthonyWayneVending.com.
All right. So we would like to thank Elsie for giving this location to us.
Yes.
And also we would like to thank him for coming and joining us today. And I would like to thank the audience. This is Monday Morning Jolt. Use it.